Jonathan Glazer makes a movie about every 10 years, and his latest one about the Hearst family who lives their life right next to the Auschwitz concentration camp is undeniably incredibly unique in its presentation and impactful from its first to last frame. Lachlan, you immediately rated this film 5 stars after we caught it in Cannes last year. You've rewatched it now that it's out digitally. Has anything changed for you since we first reviewed this in Cannes?
No, it's still a fantastic film that took me by surprise, that I just wasn't expecting. I love being shown a perspective that I don't get to see, and that perspective is of a family on the German side living a normal life while atrocities happen outside of their walled garden. It was a fantastic film crafted by a filmmaker who has really perfected the vision of it, both visibly and also audibly. The whole thing is a masterpiece from start to finish, from how it looks with locked off shots and simple dollies with the camera movement, down to the really surreal, audible soundscape that it presents to you. And then also performance-wise, it's fantastic. And then right at the end, it just takes you on this little journey of the real world and how that atrocity that happened years ago still is something that you can view today if you want to, and not just through a screen. So this film is fantastic.
Kevin, for you, I was a bit surprised because you caught up with it way later now that it's coming out in theaters for the first time. So you didn't have the festival experience, and you came out of it liking it a bit less than the both of us did. Could you explain maybe what didn't really work for you, or do you think it's still a great film?
Now, to be fair, I came into it, with all the huge expectations, Oscar buzz, that whole shtick, right? But I'm still like, alright, just keeping an open mind. Okay, we're starting on this, music, sound, and I know sound is a big thing. I do respect the filmmaking a lot in this movie. It's just that I wasn't as impressed. Now, my theory for the reason why I'm not impressed, and that is a question for the both of you. How much are you both, in terms of education, how much have you gotten to know the whole Second World War atrocities? Because don't know if that's much of a thing in the education in Australia or with you guys.
I'm pretty
I'm
knowledgeable.
familiar.
Like we
Yeah.
do World War II. I mean, Australia was part of the World War as well, so we do learn about it.
I studied history for like half a semester at university. I am like luckily I can tell you firsthand that there are some anecdotes of me in Australia, us hanging out, and me bringing up World War II as we are in the dead of the night at 2 a.m. as I think a couple of us wanted to go to bed. I was sitting on someone's like next to them on their bed talking about World War II. So I think I'm pretty familiar with it. Maybe I can never shut up about it as well. But
Okay, because the reason why I don't think it had much of an impact on me is because we have the there is a memorial museum pretty close called Dossin, Caserne Dossin, which is like a station that used to ship off actual Jews off to those camps. You also have like a fort, Fort Breendonk, because I live in Belgium, if you guys, for the viewers that don't know, where such Second World War atrocities did happen. So and this movie tries to hang on to the atmosphere. So atmosphere is key in the zone of interest, and that's the thing that I've already seen from pretty up close. And I was more interested in the aspect of these psychological aspects of zone of interest, like seeing the family in that river cleaning the dirt off. Sandra Huller character saying she's the queen of Auschwitz. That was more interesting to me than the whole atmosphere thing it has going on for, and I just don't think it had any impact on me because of that, because I've already seen it. But like, look, I've seen it with a friend of mine. We both said the filmmaking is outstanding. We can't deny that. It's just that it didn't have any impact on us, and that's why I gave it 3.5. We like even on filmmaking, it's pretty fucking strong. It's like 4.5. It's pretty fucking strong,
yeah.
but it just didn't have an impact on us, and it rather left us cold. So that's why I didn't like
I feel
it as
like
much.
that like whole take of
Sorry.
that's totally fine. The by the way, the average rating on Letterboxd is also a 4. So with us kind of overshooting it with 5, you're like closer to that. But your proximity to it. I feel like that's also another theme of this film, that like how close you are to something and how you don't really see the evil anymore, and maybe being even closer in proximity to where history happened, you're maybe not as engaged with it. Where do you think it may be something that international audiences are gonna gravitate towards more, and you feel like local European countries that actually experienced it are gonna like it less? Is that kind of what you were getting at?
Definitely for America, for example, right? I think there would be more impressed with this movie than other countries, for example.
I wouldn't really agree, but I think it's an interesting perspective to have, because I feel like when you think of America, you're clamoring more to the hero character, and here, and maybe even an anti-hero character, and I feel like you're getting neither of that in this. It's like solely an observation, as you don't get those character moments. It's not a character study at all, where you get to see the Queen of Auschwitz kind of portray herself that way. You're just watching her interact over a couple of years in a different scenarios, wanting to stay at her house, providing for her family, staying in the house that she kind of built. I think this movie is also a masterpiece. I'd close it on that. I think Lachlan and I both praised it in our long form, full-on spoiler review that we did on this week's podcast. That is linked below if you want to hear us talk a bit more about it. Lachlan and I both arrive at a 5 out of 5 for this one. Kev, you said a 3.5. As a collective, I think we can say we'd recommend it overall. But Kev, what do you think? Is this something that you can just watch whenever, or do you think audiences have to be ready to experience what the Zone of Interest has to offer?
You don't have to be in the mood for, you don't have to be in the right mood for it if you want.
I think so.
It's a weird thing to say or to correlate with this movie, but we also with a friend I talked, like, even if you fall asleep during this movie, right, you still don't miss much.
No,
like,
but I don't think that takes away from the film itself, because that's not.
No, it doesn't take away from it, but it also, like, it does, for me, that means the movie is hammering down on one point, and that point is very effective, but it is hammering on one point, on the evil of the second atrocities that happened during the Second World War. But that's the only thing that's going for it. If you skip a scene because you're tired or anything, like, just in general, you still get the gist of it.
I don't know. I feel like that there's a bit more than just having the atrocities there. I feel like it's through the modern lens. That's also like literally a modern lens, not with grading the film a certain way to make it look like it's a period piece. All of that, like, there's a lot in there to digest. I wouldn't just put it to that, but hey, maybe that was all it had to offer for you. But let us know if you've seen it in the comments below, what you thought of it. Are you gonna root for it in any of the 5 Oscar categories it's nominated for? And yeah, go check out the main review on the podcast this week if you want to hear more. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you soon.
Bye.